Hi, welcome. My name is Carl with Isometrics Photography, and I'm going to welcome you to an educational style video. This is the first time I've done this. This is a presentation style, and here's my lovely magic disappearing banana. Yeah, this took me like 2 seconds to do. The photo took a little longer, but this edit is, yeah, it's something else. Anyway, let us get to the good stuff. Okay, so our PowerPoint today, let me get it going here, is on polarizing lens filters. What about polarizing lens filters? I don't know, let's find out. So this is my lens polarizer I'm using right now from my 5D, my professional camera, which is, this is a professional lens polarizer. It's very nice. And all the markings and distinguishings are taken off. I'm not sure, I haven't reviewed this yet, so I really don't want to show any of the brand name for that. But it's very nice. I like it. So let us start by understanding polarization. So what is polarization? Our definition from Wikipedia. Now Wikipedia, I would just like to mention, is asking for donations again. They always could use donations there. They do a great service there. I think I've used a lot of it for my educational work, especially my graduate degree, because back in the days of my other education, it wasn't really, I don't think Wikipedia existed. Do like the card catalog type of thing. Yeah, I'm old, I guess. But anyway, so our definition from Wikipedia is that polarization, also polarization, and if they want to be complete and give you the English spelling, I believe that is. The Old English is a property applying to transverse waves that specifies the geometrical orientation of the oscillations. In a transverse wave, the direction of the oscillation is perpendicular to the direction of the motion of the wave. What? Unless you're a physicist, you probably don't get it. I'm not heavy into physics. I can sit there and understand it. I understand it, but I don't really play with it because I don't know it that well. So yeah, I know how that can be confusing, and we're not really getting heavy into physics here. So here's my lovely drawing. Here's my light source. Okay, my light source is emitting these wild lights. Okay, and which is called unpolarized light. It's the formal term for it. And our polarizer blocks the stray lights that are going in the wrong direction, and it makes it nice and uniform. So you get a nice uniform selected light for your camera lens. Okay, so the polarization light is something that it shapes or scatters light beams into one single plane of oscillation. Now, oscillation is defined in Wikipedia as the repetitive variation, typically in time, of some measure about a central value, often a point of equilibrium, or between two or more different states. Now, what this is saying is, let's say this line right here is our central value, okay, and let's use the laser pointer, do an oscillation around that. So it does the same mathematically around the center point, which is this line in my case. Okay, so it has the same oscillations. So that's a lot of info, buddy. Here's my Fresnel equations. I'm not going to explain these. I believe it has to do with light refractions. I don't really use these, but they're really neat to look at. So I put them in, and I made a nice photo of my Fresnel equations, which are a little difficult to write out, but yeah, I can get there. I know my stuff. So that's enough physics for me. Yeah, I've had enough physics in this video. So let's get to the polarizers. So what does a lens polarizer do to you? So a lens polarizer reduces glare. It'll darken your shadows. It increases your color and contrast definition. It improves your color saturation, especially in your sky photos. And it removes reflections, especially in water, and haze. It does a good job with haze. And I'll show you so haze right here. You see the haze right there? This is from the reflection of this in water. There's water vapor in the air that day. I was near a waterfall. I'll show you that at the end, a little portion of it. But anyway, see how it reduces the reflection on this hard surface, and it clearly defines the background too. You see how clearly defined that is, the bokeh in the background. And right here also is more defined and more contrasty. It looks a lot nicer in that photo. People really like this photo for some reason. Okay, you know, I'll take the likes. I mean, it wasn't my best doing photo ever, but people liked it more than usual. So here's my water shot, and this one's unpolarized. Here's moderately polarized, and right here, here's a portion that is vignetted by the filter, and that's a drawback I'll talk about later, but that's a vignette. I'd throw this photo out. And this is fully polarized. Now notice how take a look at the colors in the water. You see how they get deeper and more defined and more contrasty, and all the reflections on the water get drastically reduced. That's really what I'm going to show here. And the vignetting too. That's what I could use these for. And there's our waterfall I was talking about. Anyhow, I did a wine glass too, and the wine glass has a reflection, I believe, of the Fresnel Equations in the glass. So you see how here, this is unpolarized. You see how there's all this haze. You can't really, the reflections kind of muddled out, and this isn't defined at all, and nothing's really defined. And you see how this gets all kind of, this whole reflection comes together here. This is fined out, all that glare is gone over there, and that is clearly defined, that reflection. So it does a lot for reflections and reducing haze and glare and contrast and colors. So how do you use one of these things? So you simply rotate to increase and or decrease the amount of polarization. So I have my handy dandy backup lens here and my lens polarizer. You can see that. So you just kind of rotate it around. Just be careful, because sometimes you'll grab the focus, and that's really annoying in the focal length. But yeah, you just turn this until you get your maximum polarization. You do that by checking it with your eye. Check it on a hard surface, usually, or water. Anyway, so you check the shadows, in the viewfinder. So the maximum degree of polarization is at a 90-degree angle from the sun. So the maximum polarization can affect your image balance, definitely. This is also dependent on the time of year or season. The reason this is because the light hits the Earth at a different angle in different seasons. In the winter, it really hits it at an off angle. That's why it's colder, especially here in the Northeast. And in the summer, it hits with more direct rays, which is why it's warmer. So here's the sun, okay? You see the sun, okay? It's right there. That's not the real sun, but it's one I drew. But anyway, you can rotate around a 90-degree angle. And this, where your thumb's pointing, is your maximum degree of polarization, okay? So if I'm looking over here, I know that that's the maximum degree of polarization. The reason this matters sometimes is because if you really look it up and do research on it, I'm not going to do it here with you, but if you look it up and do research on it, it affects especially your sky photos. If you're on maximum degree of polarization, you'll get a really uneven sky. I have an example of that. I think I was almost at the maximum degree of polarization when I did my example photos, and we'll talk about that in a second. So the drawbacks to polarizing filters is they add extra lens flaring, especially in photos with the sun featured, such as sunrise or sunset. And they add vignetting, which can lead to uneven shading. They steal light. Not good in low light situations, such as nighttime photography. It may take extra time for your camera to focus, and it's not good for computer screens or television shots. Definitely not. Here, take a look at my sunglasses. These are polarized. Your sunglasses are polarized if you have polarized sunglasses. But watch what I do. Turn them. Try this at home if you're wearing sunglasses like me, but I'll show it to you. You see that? You see what it does to that? That's cool. And the reason being is because television, or this screen right here, I know this screen, I think it's 180 degree light, but it's all polarized in a similar direction. So it's going to get blocked out if the filter is going a certain way. Polarized light can get blocked out by another polarized. If you polarize light twice, what happens is if you throw another polarizer in the right angle, it just takes everything out. And I'll show you that. Here's one, no polarization, moderate polarization, complete polarization. Boom, there's nothing there. It's kind of cool. Try it at home. Try it at home with your sunglasses. Turn them sideways. Okay, so they can unbalance the photo right here, especially the sky. Here's a sky that's unbalanced. You see, here's moderate, here's full. You see how that's completely halved right there? I wouldn't use this for anything. I think it makes my photo look bad. If I was doing something artsy, maybe I'd use it, but for professional work, I would be like, no, it's not what you're looking for. So, yes, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And I hope you learned something. Everything, all writing, artwork, photos, information compilation was done by me, Carl R. Lamberg, with Isometrics. And here's my references that I used. You can go check these out. Let's give it a minute. Okay, and so that's the end. Here's my ice falls. This is one of my favorite photos from that day. I didn't do a lot of photos professionally, but this one I did. I like this one. And I thank you for tuning into my videos. I don't know when I'll have another educational video, but this one was fun, and I hope to see you again. Take care.